Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. In this video I'm going to review Witness from 1985, directed by Peter Weir. And in this movie Harrison Ford plays this cop who has to protect this Amish family, Kelly McGillis and her son Lucas Harsh. They have been traveling to the city, but the boy becomes a witness in a murder case, and now they are in great danger. And Harrison Ford is also in danger because the villains in this movie is actually cops. So he goes on to live with the Amish and also starts falling in love with Kelly McGillis. I remember watching Witness for the first time around 10 years ago, actually, and I really much liked it. Last week I rewatched it again, and I think it is one of the best movies from the 80s, and perhaps my second favorite Harrison Ford movie, together with Blade Runner. I think these two movies are his most interesting films, actually. And it's also interesting to see Harrison Ford in movies that isn't franchise movies. And it's not that I have anything against something like Star Wars or Indiana Jones, but they are a bit more cartoonish, in Blade Runner and in Witness, he plays a real human with feelings and struggles, and it suits him. And it's interesting because Harrison Ford, I've never thought he was a great actor, but he's so likable and charming. He has a way of making you feel for him, even though he's not that great of a dramatic actor. But every time he has a one-liner, he can do something that no other actors can do. And he has wonderful chemistry with Kelly McGillis. I think both her and the son, Lucas Harsh, they are perfectly casted because they both have beautiful eyes. They're terrific eyes. It's unbelievable. It's also just a movie that is very cinematic. There's the whole famous scene when they are building outside, when you really can hear the music, and it's just pure visual storytelling. Perhaps the greatest scene in the whole film, I think. But there's also some great intimate scenes when Harrison Ford is dancing with Kelly McGillis and he sings. I found it so romantic, and I love the whole forbidden love aspect. I'm a sucker for something like that. Two people who is passionate in love with each other, and they want to resist each other, but they can't. And then in the end, they of course kiss and all that stuff. But I think, although there's some cliches, I do think that the film also knows not to do it in an over-the-top way. So it doesn't necessarily end in a, how should I say, a typical Hollywood ending style, and I also really love the whole scene when the boy, he sees the murder, the killer on the newspaper. He's in the police office, and he goes through the building, and then he sees the photo of Danny Glover, and he also has a terrific face, very creepy in this movie. If I have issues with it, it's still perhaps the whole. You have seen the thing about corrupt police before, so there's nothing new in terms of that. But I do kind of find it interesting in the way the film kind of changed from this a bit more dirty environment in the city, and then you go out on the countryside, and when Harrison Ford has to live with the Amish and kind of have to live a different lifestyle, it becomes a different movie, and it's more intimate there, and you don't really feel it's a thriller there, and I quite like it. It has different tones to it, and I think in that way that this movie is very smart, very well constructed, and really this has the ingredients of all the things I like in movies. A thriller, I like a good thriller, good characters, it has an intense romance, it's beautiful filmed, and the music is also outstanding. It really takes it to another level. So yeah, that is my thoughts on Witness. I just want to say here in the end that I'm going to take a small break from making YouTube videos just for a month time. I think I will make again in the middle of June, or perhaps in the end of June. It's because I have 4 upcoming exams here, and I really have to get that done, and then I can be fully concentrated on that, and then I can return with great passion talking about movies again afterwards. I'm going to miss making videos for the next month, but it's necessary, otherwise I'm not fully focused. But I hope you still want to continue to see my videos when I return, and yeah, I hope you will all have a very nice day. Bye.